Hey dude, so I just wanted to do a quick little speed test and camera test comparison here between the Galaxy J7 and the Galaxy A8, which I think really are distant cousins here. You know, the A8 a little bit more premium build, but very similar handsets in many respects. So I wanted to see how they compared here. This is the Exynos 7580 versus the Exynos 5 series in the A8, so slightly lower end I think, but it should be interesting to see how they compare. So you can see the J7 does boot up faster here. It does only have 1.5 gigs of RAM versus 3 gigs, so maybe that will help this. But very surprising that Samsung chose to put a lower end processor in than the J7, which has a very nice Exynos 7 series. Nevertheless, how do they compare when it comes to the day-to-day? We can have a look here. Just going to close everything off. Both running Android 5.1.1, so very nice and up to date, nearly. When it comes to the Android, so about 1.1 there, 2.1 to the J7, very nice, and a little bit different here on that one. Viber, A8 come up again. Camera, about identical, which is nice. Also we do have the dialer, probably a little bit quicker here on the right, and also Tinder, so similar there, and YouTube. So J7 again, very nice. Twitter, J7 again. So I'm probably going to give this to the J7 actually when it comes to the day-to-day. It seems to be opening up stuff that a little bit faster here. What about the games? Oh, the A8 opened that up faster, which is nice. Also, I think we have some GTA. So strangely, it looks like the A8 is opening the games a bit faster. Oh. So you can see the J7. Wow.
After 5 years on the East Coast, it was time to go home.
So I'm probably going to give this to the J7. Totally unexpected, to be honest, considering the price difference. And you know, that goes to show you really, you know, you probably get more for your money here sometimes. We can have a look at the actual performance here of the web browsing. So we're just going to open up some web pages here. So this is Wikipedia. You can see very nice and quick on the left. The A8 should have an advantage here when it comes to the 5G band support, which this doesn't have. But what I'm seeing is faster loading here on the left, which is really amazing. What else do we have? Twitter. Wow, that is fantastic. Let's try a traditional one. Verge. So Verge. Got to be careful which one I click then. for those of you who were observant. But you can see again faster here on the left. Wow, that is very nice. And wow, what's this? This is like a different headline here, but it says like the same kind of story. That's really weird. It's weird that The Verge would criticise Apple, and it's weird that it's different. But nevertheless, I'm giving it to the J7 here. Very nice performance indeed. We can have a look at the multitasking, so see how it manages that little paltry 1.5 gigs of RAM versus 3 gigs. So you can see slightly faster for the keyboard here. Reload. J7 is well ahead. It's probably going to win by knockout. About the same for the camera. Again, came up faster. What about the game? So the game comes up faster on, no, it's about the same there when it came up to the menu. I thought the A8 was going to win then. What about GTA? Ooh, quicker here. That is nice performance here from the J7. Absolutely fantastic. So, you know, you can see here flawless victory from the J7, which, you know, I was expecting good performance because of the processor, but not really that good, to be honest. So props to the J7 here. We do have some cameras here as well in the back, obviously 13 megapixel versus the 16 megapixel ISO cell. And I was expecting the ISO cell to dominate, but it's not necessarily the case. You can have a look at some of these samples that I did do out and about. I think the major difference I actually noticed was that the J7 can do HDR in widescreen mode, whereas the A8 can't do that, which is pretty annoying really. Both of them don't do 4K obviously, but you can see here, you know, very comparable in terms of the actual quality. It's very remarkably surprised by the J7, which should be a little bit lower end for the camera. So very nice here. And also obviously the low light is another area. I think both of them struggle a little bit in that particular regard. None of them obviously support the optical image stabilization. You can have a look at the video quality as well. So as you can see, I don't think there was a massive difference when it came to the video recording, but what struck me was, you know, the good quality images coming out of the J7, very comparable to the higher end A8, so to speak. And also obviously, you know, in terms of the actual software here, I was quite surprised at the limitations of the HDR mode that you do get on the A8. For example, if you want to put that on here, you can see it will only allow you to do it in the 4:3 ratio. whereas if you want to do it here on the J7, you can do it with the widescreen. So that's a pretty big limitation if you ask me, which I don't really understand. But both of them do come with the Pro mode, obviously, which is fantastic for those who are more budding in terms of the camera. But you know, I'm very blown away by the good performance here from the J7. Could be one of the best budget phones, I think, of 2015. We'll see, obviously, because it's not the end yet. But yeah, just a quick little video here. Hope you found it helpful. And if you did, don't forget to leave a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.